Hi, today we're going to make the classic TV unit from Uneek Living. And first thing we need to do, like we've shown in all our other videos, is to make sure that we have all the bits and pieces. And that includes the screws and the joiners. So if you don't have all the bits and pieces from your instruction booklet, make sure you let us know prior to assembly and we'll get those things out to you. First thing we do is grab our base, which it says to do on section 1, and once we've got all our pieces for the base, the very first thing we'll do is put the base together, or the feet. Instead of using feet, that's why I like the Classic so much, because it actually has a wooden base. So we put our joiners in, two joiners in there. You get the centre piece or holding piece, it will be. Whack that on. Never forget your locking nuts. I'll never forget to tighten up your locking nuts. Put them in. My screwdriver next to me, and we tighten the locking nuts clockwise. Okay, and then we get our other side of our base frame. Hard for you guys to see, but we just slot it in and join that together with our locking screws. Now that we have our H frame in place, or these are actually our feet, what we like to do with the dowels is put them into the H frame and push them down. And the way you know the dowels, I nearly made an error there, is that they don't have anything for, the dowels is just a hole. And you push the dowels down as far as they go into this, and you can do that by the palm of your hand even, you don't even need a hammer. With the dowel pieces, you get them down as low as you can without putting any extra force on them. I usually just give them a little tap, make sure they're in. And you don't need much of the dowel sticking through. Then we proceed to put the joiners onto the bottom base, and there should be 8 of these, so screw them in. Now that we have our joiners in, we grab our H frame and tip it over and put it into place. Okay, it's a little bit of fiddling around, but you tend to get there. Again, use our locking screw and lock that all into place. Now that we've done the base, that's section 1 complete, and it says in section 2 to place the centrepiece in. It's always probably a good idea when we're putting any of these parts that'll have drawer runners on them to do it prior to putting it up. And this is a drawer runner. You got that, Sharon? And pulls out like so. And the larger piece is the part that will go onto the edge, and this will go onto the drawer, the thinner piece. And the way we get that out might be hard to see, but you've just got a little catch in there. And you simply pull that catch up and it slides out. So that part will go onto your drawer, so we'll put that away for later on. This section will go on here. And you line, I always line it up with the little dots that you have for your screws. Grab your small screws and get started on the front one. I always have the front one. I pull this back and lock that one in, and then the next one will follow wherever it sits. We just do the same again for the second runner. Pull it out. Use your little tag and do it. Put that away for later. And put it on and screw it in. Once we have the draw runners in place, put that in, tighten it up with your locking nuts. And that's section 2. Okay, section 3 says to put the 2 end pieces on, and the 2 end pieces are slightly different, as you'll see. If you got that, that will be the end where there are no drawers, and you can see that's the end where the drawers are. So we'll whack our draw runners on there and we'll start assembling. Once you have your runners on, we'll put our dowels in and our joiners on both ends, and then we're ready to whack it together. Once we have all our joiners and everything in place, what we need to do is we can put the unit up on its side so that we can position everything. And first thing we'll do is whack this end piece on. The reason we put it up on its side is so that we can get to the bottom hole so that we can lock it all in. Just make sure you put your locking nuts in. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath. And there's also 2 locking nuts that go in the top here too. Now we position our centre shelf in place. Always make sure that the veneer's at the front and the chipboard's at the back. This is the back of the unit, so we're good to go. And you put that in place and lock it in with your locking nuts. Okay, we're getting there now, and now once we have the centre shelf in place, we put the end unit part in place. So we just line up all the holes and again lock it up. Now that we have it all in place and we put the locking nuts in, and you'll need a stubby screwdriver to do these ones to get in there. It's probably not a bad idea while you've got it on its side to put the little foot stops in. They just go in with a hammer. Now we're up to section 4. And that's just putting the back on. And make sure when you're putting the back on that the holes go where all your accessories, your DVD players and the CD player and all that's going, so you can pull the cords out. And that's section 4. Okay. Firstly we do when we go to we're up to section 5, is put the dowels in the top and whack your joiners into the top piece and screw them in, and then we're ready to put the top on. Once we've got the top on, don't forget to lock it in. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lockdowns. Okay, section 6 says to put the drawers together. So we grab the back of one of the drawers, and these are the 2 sides. Obviously you line all the slats up, so this will be this part, the back, and we grab our long screws, poke a long screw through and you line it up with the hole punch mark. Just get a feel for it. And grab your second one before you push it down so you make sure that you're lining it up correctly. That's it, and then screw it down. Then we grab the other side, do exactly the same. Screws through, line them up with the little punch holes, just a quick tighten up, and then screw them down. And we slide our base in, just like that. Once we have our base on, we grab the second part of the runner which we had before, okay, and we always make sure that the little tag, okay, goes to the back. So you just place it on, and again I like to put the front one in first. Like so, and make sure this butts up against it, and then just nip it up. And do the same the other side. And all we're doing is exactly the same for the other side, making sure that your little clip lock or tag is at the back of the drawer. Now it's time to put the front of the drawer on. Once you have your joiners on, place it on, push it down, and lock it up. Now the final piece is to put your handle on. Screw through the hole, get a start, twist, and do the same for the other side. And then tighten them up. Now we have the drawers in place, all we need to do is put them in. Put the bottom one on first, and you just line them up with the runners. Sounds easy, doesn't it? There we go. Slide them in. There's one. Then we put our last one in. Drawer in. And there you have it, the classic TV unit, another beautiful piece of furniture from Uneek Living.